Welcome, Solara here. I hope you guys are doing well today. Well, let me begin with a proper introduction. I'm so fixated on this energy, I want to jump right in. But first of all, let me welcome those of you who are new here. Thank you for visiting. Welcome to those of you who are returning. Thank you for all your love and your support. I appreciate each and every one of you that appreciate me, that are helping me to grow in my own value and light. In turn, for me, hopefully helping you to do the same. Okay. Yes, thank you for your likes, thank you for your comments, thank you for your donations, thank you for your emails. Yeah, as you can see, I'm a little bit distracted by the energy because it's very intense right now. It's, I say that quite often, and it seems like it's just heightening in intensity, and with good reason. I'm doing something a little bit different today. So I began to do a poll because I wanted to figure out some of the energies for myself. I was feeling something, I wanted to know what was going on, and I pulled some cards and I decided, let me record and let me go into this on camera because this is a message that's not just for me. Give me a second while I just add some more herbs to my charcoal. Set the mood, set the mood, set the mood. Okay. Alrighty. So I went into the oracles of shadows and light because the oracles of shadows and light, it don't fuck around. And some cards came out because I was picking up on this energy. I was picking up on a lot of fear and anxiety, and I knew it wasn't mine. And so I entertained it for a while to get to the bottom of what it was and then released it. And I want to show you the cards that came out when I asked. And I want you to bear in mind that a lot of the cards that are coming out, the energies that are coming out right now, it's the same story, okay? I can't even pretend that it's not the same story. And the reason that keeps happening is because it's still unfolding. For one thing, some people are just tuning in now to this energy. For another thing, there are many of you who you may know the story, but what you're searching for are extra details. You're searching for layers and nuances. I know that because I do that too. And so originally, I wasn't going to bother to go into it because I'm like, oh, it's the same old shit. And my guides were like, no, we want you to go into it, but we want you to go into it from a different angle. So this is my plan of action for tonight. I'm going to read the energies that I have here. I'm going to delve into them. But then I've also been called, because this energy is, again, it's a continuation of something I was picking up yesterday, and that is a very strong Venusian energy, but using the dark side of Venus in order to fuck with people, and also a lot of sex magic in order to access people's energy fields and to gain entry into, gain re-entry, try to gain re-entry into sacral chakra, okay? So this energy of Venus was coming up again, and I began to do a little bit of research, which I will share with you also, the downloads I received by way of doing that. But what I then began to realize is that Venus herself wants to speak. And what I'm really feeling right now is that Venus wants to expose. Planets are sentient beings, just like our Earth, Gaia. She's a sentient being. And a lot of the stuff that people have done with certain energies, certain planetary energies, it's dark. Because just like we have a shadow side as sentient beings, planets do too. But that doesn't necessarily mean that they're supposed to be exploited. And this is a theme that is coming up again because this is what we've been dealing with on the Earth plane in the old world energies, the constant exploitation of our shadow in order to keep us out of our light, okay? In order to do that, please understand and understand that that is exactly the same method that had to be applied energetically or magically, meaning that in order to exploit our shadow, they were using a lot of planetary magic, planetary energies to and tuning into the shadow or the dark side of those planets and exploiting that too for their own purposes. Okay, so I'm feeling like tonight that Venus is getting ready to expose some things. She already is. And when my guide said, go into the astrology and see what's happening, go and see where Venus is, and I realized that Venus is in Pisces. And I also realized that Venus, I think, only just entered Pisces on Friday, which is the day of Venus, very interestingly enough. And then they also said to me, check out the moon. So I looked at the moon, and sure enough, on Friday, the moon entered Taurus. Now, Taurus is ruled by Venus. So we have a lot of Venusian energy there. We have the moon in an energy surrounding Venus. Then, of course, we have Venus herself in Pisces. And then there was something else about, then there was a day of Venus where this all happened. Friday is ruled by Venus. And then there was also this energy of, I think somewhere I saw a Venusian degree. And the Venus degrees would be 2 and 7. Oh my gosh, that's what it is. On Friday was the 27th. So you see, there's a lot of that energy, and the Venus degrees are 2 and 7 because Venus rules over Libra and Taurus. So those are the 2nd and 7th signs of the zodiac, and they rule over the 2nd and the 7th house. Venus rules over the 2nd and the 7th house, and of course Friday was the 27th. Okay, so the 2nd house, we've talked about this quite a bit in previous videos. The 2nd house, as far as I'm concerned, I'm not an astrologer, I can just tell you what it is that my guides have explained it to me. The 2nd house is supposed to be the value. It's supposed to be our light. It's supposed to be what we're sent here, our own divine value, our own divine gifts, our own divine treasure that we're sent to the earth to have, to multiply in order for us to enjoy and also to share with others. That's what the 2nd house is supposed to be. Now, in Western astrology and astrology systems that want to apply their systems more to like matrix ideology, it became like financial resources. And I'm not saying that it's not attached to that, but I'm saying primarily the financial resources are supposed to be born from your intrinsic value and treasure. And this is what we're recovering right now while the North Node is in Taurus. So again, we have that other Taurian energy that's happening to North Node in Taurus. So that's more Venusian energy. And I believe on Friday when it happened, it was at 8 degrees, which is Leo energy, strength card energy. But 8th house energy also. So it could be considered to be Scorpio energy. And if we're looking at the tarot with the 2 and the 7, that's Piscean and Cancer energy, okay? Which is very much attached, again, to sacral chakra. We could break this down all night. I ain't going to go any deeper in that. But I want to show you when I was going into the cards and I was trying to figure out, before my guys started to talk to me about this Venus energy, what it was that I was being shown. And before I get into that, I was saying that the breakdown for tonight, I'm also at the end of this reading going to pull some cards from my herbal deck because I have quite a few of you coming into my email and asking me for free information about how to deal with this stuff. And, you know, I have services where you can, you know, book me and be able to do that. But I also get that for some of you, you know, financially it's not an option right now. So I want to be able to provide this information on a more widespread level, give you some suggestions for what it is you can do. But I will tell you that at every turn when we find ourselves backed into a corner on this journey and there are things that we can't do because of, you know, lack of access, lack of money, I know this energy too well, and I will tell you that even divinely, it is sent for us to be able to tune into our own abilities to access that within self. A lot of this has been allowed on our journey in order for us to access our truth and our divinity. And unfortunately, a lot of us, if we were living lives that were just, you know, hunky-dory, we would never have the desire to delve and to learn. So I do, of course, want to assist those of you who are asking, but I also want to encourage you to know that everything that you need for your unique journey and your path, and I don't care how much of a prison you think you're in right now, because I don't even share with you some of the circumstances that I've been on my journey. I'm not ready to, like on this platform. But I will say that there's always provision. There's always provision. But you just have to trust, and you have to be willing sometimes to delve and do the work, because that's where the breakthrough comes. That's where the breakthrough comes. So I want to go into what actually came out. The first card that came out was the Carnivorous Flower Fairy. Okay, number 38, and this is a tempting offer has a high price, right? And then at the bottom we have the three fates, what comes around. Okay, and this energy came out in the reading last night, and so this is the initial card that came out, the Carnivorous Flower Fairy. So it was showing me right off the bat that, again, there's this energy of somebody who is taking a chance and trying to push the hand of fate, but they're trying to push it in the opposite direction. They think they can kind of will that. They think they can, fuck with other people's destiny because they're desperate, and because they've been fucking with people's destinies for so long. But what really stood out in this card was the Venus flytrap, and this is what took me down this rabbit hole of this Venus energy and trying to figure out, well, what does this all mean? What is the connection? What are you speaking? And then finally, at last, I was led to the astrology, and some more things began to become unveiled to me. I'm going to read to you something about the Venus flytrap, okay? Venus flytraps have evolved the ability to sense what is and isn't prey, and thus what isn't worthy, and thus what isn't worth the energy of closing the trap. So in other words, when something flies towards a Venus flytrap, it doesn't just automatically shut down. It recognizes and realizes what is food, it recognizes and realizes what's a threat, and it recognizes and realizes what it doesn't have to exert energy towards. There's a double message here. One thing is that whoever this person is who is trying again to mess with your energy, or trying to push your fate or your destiny in the opposite direction, they're not in tune with their own intuition. They're not in tune with spirit, obviously, and they're definitely not in tune with how to properly exert their energy. It's like they've lost complete control of their own energy. Like their energy is so scattered and chaotic because of all of the shit that they've been doing to you and possibly other people. And that in and of itself, even if this person was connected to spirit, that in and of itself would create a problem, because you cannot, especially not in the energies that we're in right now where we're rapidly ascending, you cannot create a concrete effect energetically from a state of being chaotic in your own energy. So one thing. Second of all, this is a message for you, for all of us, that we need to learn. This is what is happening right now is we are fine-tuning. We are learning lessons on how to fine-tune how we use our own energy. It's like 2023 is the year of the Chariot, and the Chariot is very much to do with your light body, how you're able to maneuver through these ascension energies, how you're able to regain a lot of the access that you've lost, right? How to regain full access and autonomy of your own vessel. It's about how to reclaim your own energy field and reclaim, therefore, your sovereignty, get your crown back. This is what the Chariot is about. And so it's like right now we're learning to drive. And I want you to think of it that way, because if you start to recognize and realize that all of these attacks that are coming towards you are actually gifts in disguise, they're here actually to help you to fine-tune your ability to rise in your magic and your power, and to learn how to maneuver and use your own vehicle again, because all of those instructions are already inside of you. You've done it before, right? And you're doing it again, just differently. if you can see it that way, then that's going to unground this energy even more, and the less it will be able to have an effect on you. Okay, now the three fates are, I think they're fate, they're destiny, I forget what the three fates are, but definitely fate, destiny, I forget what the third one is. Do you know what the third fate is? No? No. 1 second, let me go into the booklet, let's find out what the third fate is. I feel it's important. Destiny, fate, and fortune. Okay, these are the three fates: destiny, fate, and fortune. So the message is coming out again that this is somebody who's done this many times to you. Okay, and you are at a point where they're trying to do it again. And the reason they're trying to do it again is out of desperation, not because they're winning anymore, but because they don't know how to do anything else. This is why their energy is so ungrounded. But what they're trying to do is they're trying to push the hand of fate away. They know what's coming, whether they know it on a conscious or an unconscious level. This is what a lot of the fear and anxiety in the atmosphere is. I feel it, like I feel it. And this is what drew me to go into the cards today. The fear and the anxiety is that they sense something different. They sense that they're on the end of a losing battle, but they don't know how to be or to do, they don't know how to be any other way or to do anything else. And so they're still trying their best. And the way they're doing it, it's deadly for them. With this Venus flytrap, it's a deadly trap that they're setting for themselves that was meant for you. And that's another energy that was coming out today, that spider energy of trying to ensnare. But the funny thing about it was that it's like the attempt is so small. Not because, well, not that the attempt is small. The attempt is big, but the way it's affecting you is so small because you cannot be, the more you gain access to your own power and your truth, your own chariot, and you start to learn how to drive it, the less that anyone can manipulate you, right? And so it's like whatever it is that they're trying to ensnare you in, they can't use the tactics of manipulation that they used to anymore. And so the trap that they're laying for you, it's like, they may throw things at you, but it's not going to work anymore, you know? And if you feel anything, it's going to be slight residual effects. And this is what's happening now. It's like, it's almost like this impending energy of the trap that they've been trying to trap you in is about to suddenly turn on them. That's kind of what it feels like. It's almost like this mouse walking into the trap kind of energy. And again, with this desperation, this was the next card that came out. Autumn is my last chance. So for some of you, like with this three fates card and the autumn is my last chance, they've tried this many times before, right? For some of you, this is their third time, and the first time they may have tried something in the autumn time. You know, autumn is significant in some way, shape, or form. But this is their third go around at something that they failed at. So I really do feel like this is an energy of someone who tried something in autumn. It didn't work. The second time they tried, which I feel is possibly around the Christmas season, it failed. And now it's the third time, like when I say Christmas season, I was getting a lot of this energy around the solstice. And that's the time of the year where they do that kind of shit. I want to get into that right now because that's a whole other rabbit hole. But it was autumn time, possibly, you know, Halloween, solstice time, and now this is the third time. And the times before, they haven't succeeded. And since this time, you've only picked up speed and learning how to move your chariot. You're in your chariot, you're just like, oh my gosh, what does that button do? Oh, that button does that. And they have no idea what they're coming for. It's almost like, again, that energy of blindness. There's such arrogance here surrounding who they think you aren't, right, versus who they think they are, that they think that, oh, you know, I'll change things up a little bit or whatever it is, but they're very brazen, right? Brazen and a little bit stupid. I'm not gonna lie. Like this is energy of not being very smart. But this is desperation. Autumn is my last chance, okay? You are this apple. You are this fruit. And then, of course, the number 6 is the lover. So this, again, for many of you, has to do with the lover's energy, union energy. But what was at the bottom was calm amidst chaos. There's a sea storm. So there's a storm that's been brewing around getting this thing done. Okay, but the interesting thing is that the storm that's been brewing has been rooted in a feminine energy. 3 and 2. So for some of them, they're messing around with female deities, female storm energy. This is what they're trying to use to send to you. For some of you, they're trying to send, they've been trying to send towers to enact what it is that they've been trying to enact. For some of them, they may have been using some kind of sea, river, ocean energies and entities, and we know a lot about that already. What else? Because the 3 and the 2 is also, it's Empress and High Priestess energy. So there's very strong, like, using female deity or trying to. But here's the funny thing here, right? Because this is where it got real interesting, because the next 2 cards that came out in reverse. Okay, so we have the Dress of Alchemy, release your power, and working too hard. So it's like, and Dress of Alchemy is 33, and Angel of Time, working too hard, is 40. Okay, I'm going to show them to you in the upright so you can see them, right? But what's really interesting about this, first of all, the Dress of Alchemy, release your power. This is what they're trying to get you to do, is to release your power. They're working overtime, and it's like no matter how much work they put in, it's not working. They can't get you to release your power, and they're losing time. Time is up with the Angel of Time in reverse. Time is up, or time is about to be up. And again, we have her in the background with all of this orange energy. We have red. So again, this is the trying to cause instability at the root in order to harness from the sacral. But then we also have this energy of the dress. This is the energy of someone who's been trying to cloak you, who's been trying to use energy. And what I'm getting here is this person has been trying to take their darkness and put it on you so they can take your light. And, I mean, we've already spoken about that, right? But we're getting more details tonight. The dress energy, again, is tied to the Venusian energy, for me at least, because it speaks to me of fashion. And fashion is Venus energy. Entertainment, glitz, glamour, celebrity, music, art, Venus energy. Are you getting the picture yet? A lot of you, this particular moment in your cycle is all about harnessing energy from you in order not to cloak just the people who are trying to get it from you. I'm telling you again, and I said it on Friday, 2133 on my clock, 333. You can't make this shit up. Well, I hold the number 33 card because this is the thing right here. Y'all are so protected by, you guys have ascended masters all around you too. They're helping you to work your vehicle and move through this energy if this message is for you. A lot of this is about brokering your energy. You get it? So these people are getting paid to harvest your energy, or to open you up for harvest so that other higher ups can access your energy. And again, I'm going to say Venus, the planet Venus, rules arts, entertainment, glamour, fashion, beauty. Okay? But, and here's where it got real interesting. You can tell how excited I am. I'm not excited about the bad energy. I just need to get this message out because it's like, I don't know, they're just wanting me to really get this out. Anyway, Kali showed up at the bottom. Number 13, which is, of course, well, it's Scorpio energy, it's death card energy, but the number 13 is also one of the numbers of the divine feminine. Why is this important? Well, because Venus is divine feminine energy, for one thing. For another thing, these are the areas of the divine feminine: music, dance, art, but it's also, they told me to pull out my Venusian magic card. It's love. The Venus energy, Venus magic, is all about love, money, luck, beauty, harmony, vitality, music, dance, art, sex and sensuality, sacral energy, right? Or sacred energy, sacrifice, sacrifice. Synthesis, SACR, sacred, sacral sacrifice. You put it together. Synthesis, so the ability for certain things to be alchemized and to work together in harmony. That's what Venus energy provides too. Natural and material world, so it's all about what you're able to accumulate physically, but even Venus as a planet of love is more about physical love, whereas Neptune energy is about higher love. I want to draw your attention to this word luck, because it came out on Friday in the reading that I did, and yesterday I picked up on it again. Some of you, your energy has been providing other people with luck. You are their lucky charm. Like, I keep on thinking about that in the Kipper deck, that thoughts card, and that person who's in deep thought about his muse. Your energy brought them not only wealth and fortune, it brought them luck. Okay? Luck, you were fortuitous for them. Okay? So again, it's all interconnected. Now, what's really interesting about this is that Kali showed up right at the bottom of the deck, number 13, right? Which is, like I said, divine feminine energy. But what they were telling me, Kali comes in to wage war. Kali comes in to slay egos. Like, if you work with Kali on your own shadow work, she's there to help you see the parts of yourself that you want to deny, so that you can have that deep scorpionic transformation, so you can rise like the phoenix. Powerful transformation energy. But here's the thing, if you refuse to move through that energy, and I know this energy well because I embody it, right? And I have a lot of scorpionic and plutonian energy. And the thing about people who hold this energy and its accompanying frequencies is that they are great activators in order to push you into your light. But if you don't flow with that energy and you block yourself, or you become stagnant, then that's when destruction comes. That's when the tower energy of Scorpio becomes a reality, because you're not moving or flowing with the energy. And there's something here about one thing. You are at a juncture. This is a very tight juncture because the energy is so alive and overflowing right now. Maybe this is why I am the way I am right now too, because the energy is so buzzing, because it's so full, right? Because there's about to be a breakthrough. There's about to be a tower. And that tower is going to be what pushes you on the other side. But that tower is going to be what brings in, because this card came out yesterday again in the reading, what brings in the fate, the destiny, and the fortune that's been taken from you, which is going to put you back on the wheel of fortune, so you can finally have your turn, right? And those who've been trying to keep you there on purpose, it's their turn to deal with, to reap the rewards for what it is that they've done. Okay, and okay, I'm going to stop there. But this Kali energy is interesting, because what I was really picking up is this is more than just Kali. Like, in this deck, this is the energy of the dark feminine that comes in to help us deal with our shadow and rebirth ourselves. It is that energy of the void, where we have to go into the dark night of the soul. In order to be born again, we must go into nothingness. We must deal with the chaos within to be born again, right? Kali is an agent of chaos, especially when you're not, well, period. She's an agent of chaos. And if you know how to flow with that chaos, you get born again. But if you don't know, it can take you under, right? Which is the Tower card energy. But what I'm getting here is that Kali is one of many dark feminine energies that are here, that carry that same kind of, power. The power to deeply transform, because they force you to go into the dark to deal, right? This energy right here at the bottom of the deck is not just Kali. This energy is like, it's like the primordial energy from which the planet was born from. That's what I'm sensing. You can call it, you can call it divine mother energy. You can call it whatever you want to call it. But it is the primordial energy, the darkness and the chaos from which this entire reality, this planet, was born from. And she's coming to seek balance. She's coming to seek the balance that her children deserve. She's coming to seek the balance that is necessary to bring the earth back into a place of harmony, Venus energy. So this is a lot of feminine energy working here within and without. But what's really interesting here is that the powers that were and the ones that are still trying you and still trying to, fool and think that they can make these offers and come in and use your energy and broker your energy for all of these fucked up deals. The very energy that's coming in to destroy them is the energy they are trying to use against you. And I keep on, they kept on showing me this message, right? And I'm just like, they've been showing me this message for weeks. And the only thing I can say is that it must really be such a lack of connection with spirit that would have people engaging in such stupidity. That's one thing. But the second thing is that it's a level of desperation, because I guess at this point they're just like, well, we'll just take out who we can with this energy. That's the only logic I can find, because this is a really stupid strategy. Because now what they've done in trying to summon up the darkness of Venusian energy, the dark feminine energies, to fight on their behalves in the middle of an ascension, what they've actually done is awoken the primordial darkness that created all of this, and they've pissed her off. That's really what I'm getting. That's what I'm getting. And so the very energy they're trying to use to destroy you is about to come for them. And what just came through right now, again, like I said, Venus is a sentient being. Her energy was used in ways that she didn't want it to be used. And so maybe this is why I'm speaking about this tonight too. So, where shall we go with this? And then at the bottom of the deck, because I got this out of my Karmic Chronicles deck, but at the bottom of the deck, here we have it, rich people sick shit. Rich people sick shit. And Venus is, of course, over luxury. Oh, this is another thing they wanted me to share with you. So Venusian magic in terms of physicality, because now you can see from the way your physical body is reacting, or your reality, you can see if this is affecting you in any way. And it should, if it does, it should just be minimal. Like I got a breakout, and this is how I began to know what was happening when I came around a certain person who I know is operating in this, okay? Venusian magic deals with the reproductive organs, which of course is attached to sacral energy and the scorpionic energy of rebirth, transformation, Kali, Pluto, right? It also deals with your hair and your skin, okay? It's all about your physical beauty. It also deals with your kidneys, which, 2144 on my clock. Your kidneys are also attached to Libra energy. They're about bringing fluid balance within your body. And if you look at that esoterically speaking, it's about the balancing of your emotions. And your kidneys can also, they also are where you store your fear, okay? You can store your fear in different areas of your body, but it's a big site for the storage of fear. And it makes sense because your kidneys are fully responsible. Your kidneys and your heart are responsible for how you retain and dispose of the fluids within your body. Lower back, because of the kidney link. Your veins, and what they were showing me here with the veins, because we also have the veins and the nervous system. What they were showing me here with the veins and the nervous system is that, and they showed me this last night and then this confirmed it, there's a lot of energy that is supposed to stop circulation right now. Okay, so you can think about that as being within your own circulatory system, right? So if you're getting things like numb fingers, numb toes, that kind of stuff. And again, I'm not a doctor. Please seek the help you need outside of tarot. But I will give you like the spiritual representations of fuckery. But always seek the help you need to get better outside of that, in all seriousness, though, seriously. Circulatory system is all about the circulation of your blood. Okay, it's all about the circulation of your blood because your blood carries your life force. What does that mean? Your blood is what is responsible for nourishing every single cell that makes you up. It's therefore responsible for keeping your organs alive and your entire organ systems going. Okay, the blood is what is the transportation system in your body that gets nutrients everywhere they need to go. Okay, now I want you to take that and break it down into your 3D reality, because everything is a microcosm within a macrocosm within a larger macrocosm within a larger macrocosm, kind of like those like babushka dolls, right? That's how energy works. That's why if you drop a pebble in the water, you see it go out, 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 right? That's how energy works, okay? If you transfer that and you think about it in the 3D, because if you get this also, you get how magic works. In the 3D, what they're trying to do is stop the circulation of, well, one thing, stop the circulation of your truth. Stop the circulation of your power, right? But really what it is because you're dealing with Venus energy, it's trying to block, because if you're stopping the circulation of something, it's blocking something. It's trying to block your love. It's trying to block your money, so it can then gain access to your port, which is your sacral chakra, and steal all that shit from you that is part of what gives you access to your divine legacy, which includes, for some of you, divine unions, divine co-creators, access to your own treasure and value that is here for you to take and use the way you want to use it on this earth plane. So that's what it's like, trying to shut shit down. And this is why I was picking up so much of the energy of the freezer spells and the freezer magic and the stagnancy. It's all about the circulation, okay? The Venusian magic is also about the neck because, again, this is Taurian energy. It's also, Venus rules Taurus, and Taurus is all about the throat, okay? And because it's about the throat physically, your throat is connected to your ears and your nose also. So it's ENT, ear, nose, and throat can be affected. But what's really interesting here is that what you might notice is coming if you are looking at this as it comes in, these so-called attacks against your energy, and you are alchemizing it, and you're in your chariot and you're just like, oh my gosh, okay, so what does that button do? Instead of being like in fear and like a Venus flytrap snapping at everything, if you are like more in your like fifth house, more like childlike energy, inner childlike, more curious than in fear, then what you might be experiencing is, even if you have a little bit of the residual effects of the energies of the attacks, you might notice that those parts of you are being activated. You might notice that your clairaudience is coming in. You might notice that if you have, I forget the clair that's to do with smell. If you have that, it's coming in. For me, it did. This is how I sniffed out what was happening. I could smell the Venusian magic, but I could smell the sex magic, and I could smell the intermingling of Venus magic with unclean spirits. Okay, and then I knew I could clear it. And this is what opened this rabbit hole for me to begin with. So a lot of this fuckery, it's as annoying as it is, like I keep on telling you guys, it is part of the way you unlock your own magic and your power for as long as you are not threatened by it. So for some of you right now, you are receiving throat chakra upgrades. You will be able to speak your truth. You will be able to reclaim your song. For some of you, especially those of you whose energy has been being brokered for other people to sing your songs, if you know what I mean, you're going to begin to get that back. If you found that your creative stagnancy, that stagnancy had come, and you're a singer or you're a musician and you couldn't express the way you used to, it's going to be returning at this point. It's recirculation. Remember, we're in this time, the window between the new moon in Aquarius and the full moon in Leo is opening up this window of the grand transference. This is what's happening right now. And so what you're going to experience, again, if you're flowing with the chaos energies that are here, actually, to the image they were giving me, because this is the storm and the Kali energy, a lot of chaotic energy. The storm that they're sending for you is the storm that's going to take them out. So what my guides were showing me, the visual was of like almost tornado energy. Everyone's in this fucking tornado. Nobody can see what's going on. And it's like in the tornado energy, there's a switcheroo happening. There's a switcheroo that no one's going to be able to actually see has occurred until the storm settles. And when the storm settles, you'll find that everything that's been taken from you will now be back in your possession. And this is why it's important to know this and to own this in order to rise in your power, rise in your confidence, stand in your truth, and play with these energies, okay? And that's part of the recovery of the throat too, is standing in your power and standing in your truth. There's a real opportunity right now to reclaim everything they tried to take from you, for as long as you keep your eyes on the fact that the storm has not been sent to take you out. The storm has been sent to shift everything in a magnanimous way for your benefit. Okay? Alrighty. I'm going to put these cards away and clear this area because I think I want to get into like some messages from Venus. Let's see what she wants to say. Let's see what she wants to say. I've actually never done this publicly before. I channel the planets from time to time when they come to me. I do, but I've never done this like in a public reading. So we'll see how this, okay. Oh, okay, let's work with this. I've never done it in a public way before, so let's see what's going to come out. I feel like this energy coming through that's just really very... like I keep on saying, it's very vibrant, it's very excited almost. It's very like, I have to let this out. I have to say it. Like, I have these cards here and I keep on wanting to go from one deck to another. It's like no one is letting me speak. No one has let me tell what it is that's going on kind of energy. No one's interested in hearing me. Everyone just wants to use me. You see, the Venus energy I'm tapping into right now is not too different from the energy of what many of you guys have been going through. Look at this. New moon in Taurus at the bottom. Of course, we know that's Venus energy. Prosperity lies ahead. Prosperity lies ahead. There's something about this new moon in Taurus that is breaking a lot of this stuff. Because, you know, remember that we are not the only ones here to ascend. We're not the only ones here to ascend. We have, oh, look at this. We have the full moon in Aquarius, right? So that's kind of the opposite of the energy that we've been dealing with. This is like the fullness of the energy that has just been beginning. So what I'm getting right here, right now, is that this, my guides have been showing me that this idea of the grand transference that's occurring, that's beginning its energetic foundation. It began to build an energetic foundation at the new moon in Aquarius. And what I mean by an energetic foundation, and they're telling me this is important to kind of explain, because this is something that we're all supposed to be doing right now within self. An energetic foundation is something that must be built in order for an energy, when it gains momentum, to be sustained. Okay, so right now, our focus as we recover our own vitality and life force and our own gifts and talents and all of that, our focus needs to be creating a foundation whereby we can move forward in our energies and stability, so we're not bleeding out. They want you to bleed out. Remember that Venus energy is also circulatory system veins. They want you to bleed out. Every time before you bled out because you didn't understand and overstand how your own vehicle worked. And now it's time to not only learn how your vehicle works, but begin to create energetic foundations that whatever you're bringing in, it can now be sustained. And the most important way to do that is to create balance within self. Balance within self. Okay, I can leave it now. Okay, so equilibrium within self, 0 point within self. Stability within self. This is what the storm is here for. That storming energy and the chaos is here to show you how to find the stability within yourself. Because when you find the stability within yourself, which again is Taurus energy, when you find the stability within your own vehicle, that's when the stability that's within begins to change the world outside, your individual world and our world at large. So this is happening simultaneously. Remember I said that energy is just a microcosm within a macrocosm. It's as within, so without, as above, so below. What is happening outside of you is a reflection of what's happening within you. A lot of the storm energy is happening right now because people's energy is chaos. The people who've been stealing can't steal anymore, so by default their energy is chaos. But for us as divine beings, we are the ones now who are controlling the temperature. So it's up to us in the midst of the storm now to find the balance, because when we find our balance, everything outside of us will begin to become balanced again too. Everything will, when we find divine order will be met on the planet. When we find divine order, justice will come out materially to change things. We are to not be in the storm within as the storm rages without. We are to alchemize the storm and find our balance and recognize you are the storm. You are the storm. Okay, so we have this full moon in Aquarius energy. So there's something about the fullness of this energetic container that's been being formed in this window. That's the opening of the energetic container that is the grand transference is occurring. It's being seeded, I should say, rooted in this window between the new moon in Aquarius and next week's full moon in Leo. It's going to reach its fullness where we're going to begin to see it actively on the earth plane in a very, very real way come the new moon in Taurus. And this is an energy they keep on showing me. The new moon in Aries and the new moon in Taurus. Big, big times for divine beings. And I think somewhere between those two, the nodes might be switching. I'm not sure, but I think that it might be, okay? So the new moon in Taurus, this is all about ushering in the stability for you to be able now to not only walk in your value, but own your value and accrue the value that is rightfully yours that others have been stealing to cloak themselves in, okay? We have the new moon in Gemini. Communication is key. Okay, so Gemini rules the hands. Gemini is a third house energy. Gemini is how it's short-term travel, it's neighbors, it's community. It's how you are able to take your value out into the world. Okay, and the reason why in Western astrology, or the way my guides have shown me, the third house is over like neighbors and siblings and short-term travel is because the third house is where, after the second house, when you learn your own intrinsic divine value and what you've been sent here to give, what is your own divine inheritance, the way you choose to take it out into the world is very much determined by your I want to say primary, but that's not the word I'm looking for. You could say primary, I guess. Your formative and primary relationships with your peers. So it's where you learn either to be praised or shut down for your contribution to the world. So that would be in the schooling system, with other students, that would be at home with siblings. And it's there that you begin to learn the lessons of how you can communicate your value in the world, whether you're shut down or whether you are, your light is magnified and people are validating who you are. You know, and it's also where you learn how to begin to take in certain energies that will then create your reality, because we need one another, right? We do need validation from one another. We're not supposed to depend on other people's validation in order to find the value within self or validation within self, but we're here to be one another's mirrors. And so in its evolved state, this energy is here to shine back on you, your beauty. Right? It's here to, because the Taurus energy and the Venus energy is also to do with your beauty, and the beauty is connected to your value. Okay, you came to, there's something about each and every person that has the breath of God who is here to make the world more beautiful with their intrinsic value and gifts. You came to bless the world and be blessed by the experience of living in a physical reality with your consciousness. That's the point of Earth School, right? And there's something here about the recovery of the truth, of your ability, again, to be able to, the recovery of your truth, of your ability to be able to share your value and your beauty with the world again in a way that is true. There's something here, I keep on getting this energy recently too. There's something about the recovery and the reclaiming of innocence, which kind of makes sense because that Leo energy kind of rules that also, because it is about the inner child. So there's something about this Venus energy, the energy of Venus is actually assisting in all of this too. Okay, another thing that I was being shown is that I think that Mars is still in Gemini. Mars is about to move into the 10-degree mark of Gemini, I think either tonight or tomorrow. 22:02 on my clock, 222. And that is, right now Mars has been, Mars retrograded and now is moving back forward through Gemini. And so it's moved through the first decan, and the first decan is the Eight of Swords. So that is that energy that now we are reaching a real, apex, and it's really tight. That energy of despair, of being stuck in the head, the Eight of Swords, feeling trapped in fear. That's the Eight of Swords energy. We're about to move into the Nine of Swords. And what they were showing me, once Mars moves into the 10th degree, we move into the Nine of Swords, which is the 10 to 20 degree mark of Gemini energy in the Tarot and the Minor Arcana. And so what that means, what we're moving into is that nines always mean alone, something that has to be done alone. There's something here about as Mars moves into the 10th degree of Gemini, the 10 to the 20 degree, there will be a lot of breaking apart of these energies within self and outside of self, within groups also, that have contributed to aborting people's abundance. Because the Nine of Swords energy is that energy of things constantly being aborted in your life, things constantly being stopped, blockages that cause a lot of mental distress and to make you feel alone and lost and trapped and depressed and anxious and bedridden and ill. Okay, there's something about the dismantling of those energies, and the Mars Mars retrograde was supposed to show us how that has been showing up in our lives, and now the Mars moving forward in Gemini is here to remove it. So as you can see, there's a lot going on. So Mars is, more masculine energy. It's helping us to reclaim the fullness of our mental energy and our minds, but it's also helping us to reclaim our power. Okay, because Swords energy is power, and Gemini in the Tarot is represented by the Magician, which is the reclamation of all of our tools, our Wands, our swords, our cups, and our pentacles for us to use, right, as the magicians of our own lives. And it's also to do with the Lovers, which is to do with being able to gain access again with a life that is in alignment with your divine truth. Because the Lovers is about returning to the garden, but you should also know that the garden, the Lover's energy, is very much tied to sacral chakra energy, because of the portal that the sacral chakra is. So there's something about the reclamation of possession. It's the repossession, let's put it this way, the repossession of your sacred energy to birth what it is that you came here in the world to birth, and to remove and eliminate everyone and everything out of your energy that's been stealing and putting their hands in your honeypot without you knowing. Okay? Because your sacral energy is tied to your ability to make money, to love, so many things. Again, tied to Venus energy and Scorpio energy because of the birth thing energy, okay? We're already 54 minutes in. I'm going to, because I said I would, I'm going to go into the herbs. This might come out again. I feel like that Venusian energy is very, it's very chatty. It's wanting to talk. And it's my pleasure to share this, but we're at the 55-minute mark, and I wanted to share some intel or info about some herbs to help you cleanse and protect. You know what my guides are telling me? They're telling me don't shuffle. They're telling me to just simply go through my deck and pick out some herbs that I know are good for these things. So definitely. And then I will speak to you a little about, I'll speak to you guys a little about these herbs. In order to assist you as you move forward. I'm going to try to choose ones that are quite easy to get. Yeah, that's a good one. Y'all already know about sage. Sage is, I love sage, but I feel like people think that you can just sage everything out your life, and that's not really, even sage is a little bit insulted by that. Sage is like, chill out, guys. Go and use one of my brother or sister plants too, you know, like, learn about us. And this is partly what I was saying at the beginning of the video. Like, a lot of what's happening right now is for you to delve into your own wisdom and knowledge, your forgotten wisdom and knowledge about these things, because it's time for us to move forward and to utilize the power of the earth in self-honoring ways, because when we honor ourselves, we automatically honor Gaia too. And it's like she wants us to learn her again. So part of this stuff that we're going through is to push us into deeper learning. But here, I'm going to start with lavender. Lavender is really good for protection. I feel like it's an underrated herb for protection. It's wonderful for protection. It's wonderful for psychic protection. It's wonderful for protection against energies that want to put you in fear and anxiety, which is why lavender is often used to help people calm down, because it works to put your nervous system in parasympathetic mode. And that's really important, that you be in parasympathetic mode when you're trying to build a firm foundation. And parasympathetic mode is when your nervous system is in a state of rest and digest. In other words, it's not on this high alert thinking it's being chased by, I don't know, a mountain lion, I think is what they say. You're calm and you're relaxed enough in your energy. So lavender is good for helping you to recover peace, okay? And that in and of itself, being in a peaceful and grounded state, is highly protective. Lavender is also great for protection during psychic and dream work, okay? You can use it in a bath to protect. You can use it, you can put it in a sachet under your pillow. You can, burn it on a charcoal. That's actually what I was burning while we were doing this reading. Pine needles. Pine needles are really good for, you can burn them again. You can make an infusion by pouring hot water on them and turn it into a floor wash. I like that too. You can drink pine tea too. Pine needle tea became a bit of I think, a health fad not long ago because of its, antioxidant properties. But, and you should know, if something is an antioxidant, then it helps things to oxygenate your body, which helps again with the circulation of things, right? So anyway, I'm a big dork. I have no shame about it. Pine is really good for also removing very tough and stagnant energies. Some people even say that they would use pine for entity removal and attachment, and sometimes you can find sage that is also sage and pine together for smoke cleansing purposes. Okay, so I'm taking out cinnamon and orange because they're so common. You have them around your home and maybe you don't utilize the fullness of them. Cinnamon is really powerful for attraction work. So for love, for luck, it's very much tied to Venus energy too, but it's also good for adding any power to any work you're trying to do around attracting things towards you. So cinnamon, I'm putting it there not because of protection, but just because it's something that everyone has and everyone needs a little extra love and money in their lives. So why not, utilize the power of cinnamon? Orange is another one. It's very good for sacral chakra, connecting with that because it connects you with joy, pleasure, reinvigoration. All the citrus energies help to lift your spirits. Orange also is very much attached to inner child, okay, which is both solar plexus and sacral. Orange is also a good ingredient to use for clearing work, like road opening work, opening the roads to make them clear for you. I wouldn't use it alone, 22:11 on my clock, I wouldn't use it alone in a road opening work, but it is still good to add, okay? Eating oranges, that's one way to work with them, but you can also take the orange peels and make a simmer pot where you just boil water with the peels and bless the pot and speak its intention. Herbs are like people. If you can find out their properties and their qualities and speak life over them, they will help you, okay? They want to help you. They're here to help you. Okay, so just like if you want a good result out of another person, you want to see them shine and rise and grow, you find out the most beautiful thing about them and you magnify that instead of finding everything wrong with them and tearing them down, right? If you can do that with herbs, that's how you tune into communicating with them, right? So it turns out everything likes to be treated nicely. Who would have thunk it? Caraway, very potent, underrated. I love caraway. Caraway, even just in tea, is beautiful. In herbal medicine, we use it to clear out gas. It's a carminative. Also for babies with colic, it's a herb that is safe to give to newborns and infants, which is what makes it really powerful for what it does for us energetically too. Caraway is very good for protecting that which you are just beginning to grow, protecting it from energies that want to come in and vampirize it. So caraway is very protective of that. It's protective of new love. It's protective of things that you're beginning to birth, and as such is highly protective of children. Caraway also removes the spiritual root of illnesses. I'm not going to get into how to do that. I challenge you guys to take this information and ask your guides, because ultimately the way that we are learning and the way we're being called to use things, it's all so very individual. So I give you this knowledge, but it's generic, and then you go and take it and make it magical for you, because you are magic. Caraway is also good for protecting against evil eye, against thievery, and also keeping away evil energies and interference, especially energies that would try to steal or energies that would try to destroy that which you're trying to grow. Okay, coffee I took out because it's highly underrated. It's a good coffee is good energy to help you ground. Okay, but it's also an uncrossing energy. So you can literally brew some coffee, dump it on you at the end of your shower as an uncrossing ritual, or you can put it in your bath if you don't mind smelling like a cafeteria. But you can work with other smells also so the coffee's not as strong, or just use a tiny bit. You know, work with vanilla, which is very beautiful for attraction, and cinnamon again. You know, so coffee can uncross. Rue. You will rue the day you fucked with me, and that's what rue does. Rue banishes malefic energies, and it breaks hexes, it uncrosses, it's very good for just cleansing and protection of nasty shit, and it's very powerful to do that just by itself, okay? Licorice root, I'm going to take out licorice, okay, good. We have licorice root and cloves. I'm going to take them out and put them together, because licorice roots and cloves are very good for taking back command over your own energy, and therefore for the removal of those that would seek to control or dominate you. Licorice is also good for clearing any energies that would try to control or command your throat chakra, which is your own personal power and your truth. Cloves are also, they say that cloves are also good for luck and attraction. I haven't really used it in that form. Anise seed, or aniseed, not the same as star anise, aniseed, which kind of tastes a little bit licoricey. It tastes really good with caraway if you want to make a tea. Aniseed is really good for getting rid of mental fuckery. So all of the mental confusion, the thought forms of shit that people want to send you, aniseed, okay? You can use that in a bath. You can use that in a wash in the shower. You can drink it. You can, you know, burn it on charcoal. It's all really about your intention. I do want to say before I go any further, rue should not be used by women who are trying to have a baby or women who are pregnant, because it has abortifacient properties, meaning that it can abort things. And knowing this should help you understand and understand how that energy works. Rue can abort things that you can abort the energies that have been planted in your system that you don't want. It can uproot them, okay? But don't mess with rue when you're pregnant or trying to conceive, and it's not a herb to drink. Please do your due diligence on this. Most of these herbs are culinary. You know, you can drink them, but rue is not one of those, okay? Garlic, very powerful, very underrated. You see it in all the movies with vampires. Garlic is good for getting rid of parasites, entity attachments, clearing, protection, okay? Yeah, it removes hexes, it can remove vampiric energy and their residues. It can remove the blocks created by that, okay? Blocks placed by magic. Black mustard seed is very potent. Do not burn it, ever, because it creates mustard gas, okay? That's how potent it is. Do not burn it. Seek your guides on how to use it. With black mustard seed, I would use it to sprinkle around a candle or in a sachet. That's about the extent. I wouldn't boil it. I wouldn't burn it. I would leave it in its perfect state and not fuck with it, because black mustard seed, very powerful. It clears confusion very persuasively. It removes invasive energies, beings, and entities. So again, things that are trying to leech onto your system. And it's great for protecting you from interference, okay? People, energies, things trying to interfere, okay? Hyssop, very, very powerful herb. You may know of hyssop from Psalm 51 in the Bible. It's the psalm where David is lamenting after killing Uriah and you know, everything he did. He's begging God to help him to see his shadow. That's really what that psalm is about. Help me to see my shadow so I don't do anything as fucked up as this again. This was like the cry of David's heart. He's like, wash me with hyssop and I'll be white as snow. Hyssop is all about cleansing and uncrossing, okay, and removing malicious energies. It's also about sanctification and preparation. So it is a good herb if you want the revelation of your own dark side through clearing and cleansing, okay? Then we have black pepper, which is another, you know, simple one, which is good for banishing and breaking malefic energies. Black pepper is another one I wouldn't burn. I just place it around a candle and ask for these things to be broken. I will say to you, be careful that the energy that you are putting out at this time is energy designed to bring things back into 0 point, and that you are not accumulating any extra karma for yourself. herbs are sacred and they're powerful, and like all things that have been gifted to us, they're here for us to use for the benefit of ourselves and all of mankind. So with that said, I'm going to love you guys and leave you, because this is a long ass reading again. I hope this reading was helpful. I hope that I didn't get too carried away and that you could follow what I was saying. I never know until I stop channeling and I replay it for myself. But anyway, if you guys want to work with me, my information is below. Feel free to email me, check out my website prior to that to see what services I offer, and if anything tickles your fancy, you can email me. My gosh, is this I don't anyway, you can email me. I don't have a checkout on my website for the simple purpose that I want to know who's coming to me before I invest in energetic exchanges right now. Okay. What else? Yeah. Like, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell, do the YouTube thing. And if you'd like to donate, my PayPal and Cash App information is below. It would be much appreciated, but you don't have to, of course. Or if you would like to gift to the channel, I also have my Amazon wish list. It's full of all these decks that I have yet to purchase. So anyway, that's it. I'm going to love you and leave you. Be well, be encouraged, be full of joy, because that's what they're trying to steal. But a person who is resonating, only because we haven't had our trusty vibrational scale make an appearance, a person who is resonating in the frequency of joy and peace and love is unfuckwithable. Oh yes. Okay. I'm really going to love you and leave you now. I wish you guys all the best. Sending you love and peace. Until next time, be well.